Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me all right? Just working out a few things. This is my first time doing a live stream, so got to figure out this software. Give me 1 second. Screw it. I can't get the chat working. That's all right. Uh, well, hello, peoples. So yeah, I just figured, about time to get on the stream and just chill and hang. I gotta credit this to Zakharoth initially. He was the one who did it first. I'm like, you know what? I should probably do this too. But yeah, so let's get into it. Like this. All right. Let's set up a few things first. All right. Let's get into it. So I'm just gonna open up this scene and just gonna render this thing out for fun. There's my sig. There we are. This guy over. Whoops. All right, let's get this guy rigged. All right. Oh, wrong proportions. There we go. That looks a lot better. All right. All right, planning out the scene here. Let's see, maybe like a wide angle shot. I'm missing a whole wall over here, so I don't really want to get that in. I mean, I could probably duplicate this wall, place it here, but make this a window or something. That might be cool. I could go this way instead. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Something like this. A few foreground elements. That looks good. Scale this thing out. 35 millimeters is like my favorite lens focal length in Blender. I was initially like a 50 millimeter guy, and I learned about 35. It's just the best lens I've ever used. Works for pretty much everything. Go get an anamorphic look here. Yeah, I like that. This rotation. Now let's see where I'm going to place my figure. So chat, if you are trying to figure out what looks good with cameras and stuff, these composition guides are goated. I mean, these not only is like the center one really helpful for finding the center of the image, obviously, but thirds and diagonals, I use those all the time, and you'll be surprised how good composition you can get with just using those. All right, this looks good. Figure is going to be on the third here. Move this guy over. Also got to change the leg rotation. There we go. Now I can actually make him sit down. Sorry, interesting little chairs here. Is it scaled right? Yeah, looks like it. There we go. Sits pretty low. Know how I feel about that. Let's see, posing wise, I might break the arm rotation just for fun. Could have him. If he's all alone here, what would he be doing? He might be like wondering where everybody is, kind of like looking up, just kind of resting maybe, or bored. Bored. I like bored. That makes more sense. Arm kind of hanging down, like he doesn't care. Let's see. Maybe he could be like leaning like even out of the chair. Because when you lean out of a chair, you're kind of just like leg hanging off here. Don't really care about proper placement at all. Your back and stuff like that. So this looks good. Move the head. This is, I mean, I generally try to stick within the rotation boundaries here, like not using this too much or moving this up and down, but moving pieces out of the socket, you get really realistic really fast. So like I can bend this out. That looks really good. Head kind of crane back. He looks more like he's like looking at the ceiling. Gotta tilt his head more. There we go. That looks better. All right. Fix something on my end real quick. I just realized Blender's squished on the stream. Let me fix that real quick. That's a little weird looking. My first time using OBS, guys. Bear with me. I don't know how I can adjust that. Can I adjust that on the stream? I should be. Blender stream. There we go. That looks better. What's up, Tifoba? That's what I call you, by the way. I'm sorry. The Fellowship of Brick animation is so long in my mouth. I just say Tifoba. Hope you don't mind. Not really liking that hand placement. Sometimes I just gotta look at my hand and be like, what would his hand be doing if it was a real hand? And this is like, technically your hand is down like that, but extra, all this extra geometry kind of looks weird. I mean, I could crop it out like this. That's straight up bad. I can't do that. This looks better, but maybe more like that. I like that more, definitely. This placement though. Not sure about that. I think his head needs to get turned more. That. Yeah, it's more pensive. I think he still needs to get leaned back even more. This is still not. He doesn't look truly relaxed. There you go. Number one rule, what you can't see doesn't matter. It doesn't matter he's clipping through the chair back here. If you can't see it, doesn't matter. Obviously, you can break the rules with still images a lot more than you can animation because, I mean, if I was animating this scene right here, I probably would have a camera shot behind at some point and you would see him clipping. So, but even then you could probably move him just for that shot. So you wouldn't tell that he's actually clipping through the chair. Try this. Try to fake this down a little bit. Ooh, that's, oh, I broke his arm. That looks bad. No, I gotta, that's worse. I like this. This feels good. Hi, Matthew. Sounds good. Lurk all you want. Just be here with my beautiful, silky voice, putting you to sleep. I think, looking at this, I think the camera needs to go a little bit lower. Let's move this down just a tad. There we go. Let's get some foreground elements here. That looks good. All right. Composition guides for the win. Hide the bones. That looks good. The question is, should I add the face now or later? Oh, I don't know. Get out of the way. This is my least favorite part, is adding faces. It's just so time consuming. Takes forever. Looking forward to when Citrine finally releases the second version of this. Hopefully it's easier. I mean, this is pretty intuitive, but there's still like a lot of things wrong about it that I just wish were fixed, you know? Let's get these up. Like this, for example, eyebrows are way too small at the beginning. It's not even, like, I don't even know why they were that small as the default pose. It's so strange. see here. Move this down. Custom eyebrows, the bane of my existence. I usually just do like a pointed little bit at the top and then round it out at the bottom. A little bit. You don't really want to do too much though, it can break so easily. There we go, that looks good. Yep, and then I usually add curvature with these little guys. And eyebrows are looking a little wide, so pull these in. Same with this one. Now I might flatten these just a tad. There we go. Got some pretty good looking eyebrows. This one's still looking a bit long. There we go. That looks good. What the heck? I keep getting, like for this entire stream, I've been getting Discord ping after ping, and I'm not even logged into Discord. I don't know what's happening. This is the weirdest thing. Where is this coming from? I'm not even getting pinged. What the heck? I don't know. This strange. Don't even have the app. My computer's going haywire. Let's see here. I wonder if it's Blender. That's weird. No, I don't. Why would Blender sound like Discord? I don't know. All right. Anyway, posing. Let's head to Eevee. Yeah, he looks just positively relaxed here. Not. What side is his face on? Can I wait? I can't even see the face. All right, I'll have to edit that. I want to see his face a little bit. All right, I can imagine this is like an end of school year, end of school day, end of the year, and he's like relaxing and enjoying the empty classroom before he graduates or something. I don't know. It's always important to add a little bit of story to these renders. Also, if you are using MechaFace, these two things, these bones, scaling these down is amazing. It pinches the corner of the mouth. I've absolutely dug that ever since I figured that out because I don't know. It's like a little bit of a Lego movie type mouth instead of just the rounded corners. And I like pulling these down a little bit or up a little bit, depends on their emotion. Just down a little bit. You get a little bit of that lip shape. Super subtle, but I like it. I think this is a little too much of a mouth pinch. There we go. Move this over here. There we go. Now his eyes are a little wide, and so instead of a way to combat that is just go to MechaFace, add a line, and I like to just put this right at the top of the eye, like so. And scale each of these down just a little bit, and scale this like so. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna move this one though. Also, chat, if you guys have questions, post it in the chat. I'm free to answer them. I I was going to make a Q&A video, and I still am, but I ran into, well, I didn't run into, someone came to me, they ran into me, they gave me a commission, and that took over a month, and it consumed every ounce of my spare time. So I've just not had time to do anything else since then. But I recently finished that, which is awesome. So now I'm going to go back into my personal projects for my channel, and I will be doing a Q&A video. But at the moment, I'm just trying to relax a little bit and do some fun stuff. So that's why I did this stream. This eye, that looks good. Eyebrows are still looking absolutely massive. So I'm gonna move these out a little bit, move it down. Eyebrow a little bit higher than the other. I'm gonna accent that slightly. There we go. I like that. That looks pretty good. I don't feel like adding any more lines right now. All right, now I gotta match this to my hair color because that's also important. Eyebrows are the color of your hair most of the time. I want to hide school. All right, so it's like a reddish brown. Let's head up here. Brow. Eyebrows. It's like a dark brown, but more on the reddish side. That looks good. I look relaxed. That's a good looking face right there. I'm proud of that face. All right, that looks good. Let's get this working in this scene. Because I actually want to see my face in this. I spent a lot of time on that face. It's a good looking face. This around. Oh my gosh, looking direct at the camera. That's terrifying. Now I could do is I could tilt it a bit more towards the camera like this, and then cheat it a little bit. You really don't want to be doing this. Is like moving the eyes themselves. That's a no-no. I rarely ever do that. I mean, obviously, of course, don't move the pupils like this. That's never looked good in my opinion. Like that's just kind of terrifying. This, yeah, I don't like that. I like keeping it up. But if I want to look a direction, like sideways, which is usually what you're doing, then I'll move it this way. I also have to move the lines as well. Yeah, if you're looking down or up, you move the neck or the head. Don't move the eyes. There you go. You see just a little bit on this side. And you can tell he's looking that way. But you don't want to make it too extreme. But with this perspective, I feel like this looks great. All right. Let's see this whole scene here. All right. Now, generally, when I'm approaching lighting, I try to do an HDRI as many times as I can. Uh, I mean, personally, I just it's an easy way out, you know. There's so many HDRIs out there for outdoors, indoor stuff like that. It's just a good way to start and get the ambiance, and then I usually move from there into doing area lights. But if it's like a fully brick built scene that I need, it's like a darker one or it's at night, I have to, of course, use area lights. But if I can squeeze by with a single HDRI, that's a win for me. So let me get this set up. Environment texture, get my mapping set up so I can rotate it. I kind of think about what am I like? What's my lighting going to be like? A strong light's going to come in through here. Although I did say that the window's going to be on this side, and it may come at an angle, like on this corner. And then this is just going to be a hallway over here, which, am I seeing that? I am seeing that. Okay. I don't know if I can do an HDRI on this one. I might have to not use an HDRI. Maybe I can. I'll give it a shot with area lights. Area lights is my goat. I can do that. See, so let's start with my key. This is gonna be an orangey light, orangish, very warm. It's gonna come in pretty strong, like so. All right, let's get this thing rendering. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was going to do HDRI. I'll turn that off. Move my light out of this. Get this a bit brighter. Oh yeah, we're starting to get stuff here. Okay, okay. Trying some denoising. I don't need crazy settings on denoise. Some fast stuff. There we go. Okay. Turn on the spread. Also, I have like not the best computer for streaming and stuff, or not for streaming, for just blendering. And so it's gonna render slightly slow, but it's all right. How much I want this to spread out? A lot brighter. This is my problem with starting with area lights is that you're gonna you're going from base one, like square one. Uh, you gotta do everything yourself. Oh, I think it was getting blocked by this. This should spread out a bit more. Okay, I'm liking this. Let's make this a bit warmer. That's really warm. There, that's like late afternoon sun right there. That's good. Now I'm actually going to, I need some like world lighting. So I'm gonna put this on one and just put this back to say a sky texture. And I gotta block this out. If you're gonna use anything with the world, you don't want it to appear in the scene. Blocking out is just literally putting mesh planes to stop the light from falling through. So like that, looks good. And we got another one over here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough that you don't see it in frame. Oof, that's rough. I gotta deal with that camera. It's the downside of this. You gotta deal with cameras and stuff. And if the camera's outside the scene, then you gotta extend the blocking to outside the scene. Otherwise, you're gonna get some light leaking. This corner here, not block. TN Studios, appreciate it. I love my videos too. I think most of the time. There's some videos that I released and I'm like, you know what? I'm not a big fan of what I did there. But I mean, most of the time, I'm pretty proud of them. And seeing people's reactions to them is awesome. When people say that they like them, I like them more. A little self-conscious about putting that stuff out there when I don't feel like I did good on it. People are like, no, you did great and stuff, so that makes me feel good. All right, yeah, now we're cooking. All right, let's get the rest of these. Where are they? This one. I think was that all of them? Oh, there's that extra one we just did. All right, let's add a material to these. So this is going to be moderately reflective. So max roughness. And I'm going to tinge this just to tint it slightly, so like a little warm, so that way when it's reflecting, uh, it, it matches the lighting a little bit. I'll link these materials. Select these by material. I want to put these in a new collection called bounce block. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now this hallway, it's not going to have as strong of a light there, but I do like these reflections across across the desks. That looks pretty cool. So I want to move my area light though. Well, actually, I'm gonna duplicate it. Duplicate this. Fix the scaling. I'm gonna fake the rotation of the skylight just a little bit. I think this will be enough. Let's see how this looks. Oh wow, that's really strong. I'm like, I thought my bounces were hidden because I'm like, why is this so bright here? No, that's just my area light. All right. I do like how it's looking though, so let's turn this down. 200. Okay. Definitely a little less. 150. I don't like what's happening here on this wall. These harsh shadows are a little weird, so maybe I'll just widen this a bit. Okay. That looks good. I think what I gotta do next is over here, I gotta mimic the light coming across the room. I like this reflection. I want that on the side of his face. So we'll hide the blocks again, duplicate this, and rotate. I don't know how, this is pretty far away. I don't know exactly how much of this is gonna spread. Let's see here. Turn everything off. Oh wow. All right, that's interesting. Spread's probably too wide. Oh yeah, that looks better. Too much. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Let me turn this down slightly. Now this is going to be a little colder because this is outside. Not by a lot. Just a little bit. Add the world back in. Dorami. Hey, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly or not. Dorami. Dorami. I'm going to go with Dorami. I appreciate it. All right. It still is a little bright on this one. I'm going to turn this down. I don't like that. It's already at 90. Oh, that's the other one. 150, that's what I thought. Let's see, 120. There we go. I think what's still bugging me is it feels like there's so much light coming in here and not enough on these windows here. I'm like, these right here need to, this wall needs to have more shadows coming from this window. So I'm gonna hide these again, go back to square one. This ambient light's looking really good though. I like that. So I think this guy, I want to move this in. Duplicate this, move it in. It's going to look real bright because it's inside now. But yeah, that's what I thought. But now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, because we can't see it, I'm going to scale it slightly. Move it over here, out a little bit, and just kind of face it, angle it towards the wall. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. And I want to make this actually a bit warmer. The downside is I can't get as tight with the spread as I wanted to, but get pretty close. Oh yeah, that looks better. I don't know how I feel about this one right here. I think it's too strong. Wait, let's go 80. I think I like this bounce light. These shadows look real good, but I think I actually need a super strong shaft of light coming through the room. Let's go back to this first one. And I'm gonna add a volume. Usually I don't need volumes, but if something kind of looks weird and it's not filling out correctly, and you can't really just use the light paths for you, like add in a volume because it diffuses the light. All the Lego movies use volumes, not all the time, of course, but enough to make it look good. So, oh yeah, black. That's just what I want. Looks so good, man. That's what I needed all along. I just needed to make it black. Who knew? Disconnect this. Oh, volume scatter and volume. Now, just goes down. Okay, okay. I like this. Just tighten it up around the rays. What's up, Jackie? Glad you can make it. Alright, I think I need to add God rays myself. This can't, it's not gonna be automatic. I gotta do all the hard work. Gosh dang it. I'm moving this area light again. Let's see what this looks like with the volume. Just this. Question? Requests? Hit me up. I'm all ears. That's why I'm doing this. It's a Q&A live stream of some sort. Not like an official one, but enough. So, oh yeah, okay. Sharpen this up. There we go. Look at that. You're starting to get a little bit of God rays there. Okay. Maybe make this 800 or something. Could you perhaps keep this live stream on unlisted because I'd like anything stuff for Blender has helped taught me some of the stream. Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, this if all goes according to plan, this stream should be public when it's finished, so you can go back through and watch it and rewind and all that stuff. So if it comes out as unlisted, I'll fix that and I'll make sure it's public. But yeah, for sure. I'm always wanting to help people grow in their blendering abilities. So yeah, I'll keep this public for you. The question is, do I want this light ray to fall on him or behind? Oh, no problem. I appreciate it. Okay, that looks real sharp right there. Brickinator, what's up? Glad you could join. All right, now of course we're gonna run to the problem of just there's too many lights affecting the volume. So let's just kill all of them, work one by one. So we got this one. Let's start naming them. This one is window key, and I'll disable that for now. I don't want that to affect the volume. scatter. All right, now we got this one. And this is fill. So I'm going to fill. Also going to disable this one. Don't really need that. Got this one over here. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, that was my that was my mouse. All right, this one is door. Yeah, definitely don't need that on door. That's way too much. This is door. This one. This is wall. Call this wall bounce. Also don't need that. And finally, this one. This should be, yep, God raise. Window, raise. All right, now if we put this all together, only one of them should be affecting the volume. The rest should be affected by the world, which is also too strong. 0.3, elevation, 8. A little noisy. I'm gonna take the preview up a little bit. Let's see. Let's render. Albedo and normal, accurate, high. All right, now it's going to be rendering the normal as well. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Volumes just are the perfect touch, and I kind of feel bad because like volumes in general are frowned upon because they add to the render time. And like if you're just doing a simple scene, add a volume in because the ambiance it adds is so worth it. Just it's just enough. And it's funny because like most places in real life are like absent of fog, but when you add fog in a scene like this, it makes it realistic. It's amazing. All right, I gotta fix this hall over here. That's not what a hallway looks like. Right now it looks like a portal to another dimension, and that's not what we're going for. So I can just duplicate this wall, cut out these, hide these. Value on the density of my volume. Okay, so that's a good question. So first of all, my scenes are set to 1.0 when I import them, and so like I'll have to change my clip start and clip end are having to be set to like 0.1 meter and 10,000 meters instead of like I don't know 0.01 and 100. So it's like 10 times the size of the average Blender scene, but that's just the way that Mechabricks imports. And so as a result, everything else has to be scaled correctly. So like my lights here, if I select this light, I can't just use power. I also have to use. Hold on, let me hide my low guy. You guys can't even see that. Over here, my strength has to be added. My strength has to be multiplied with an emission node. Otherwise, this won't even do anything in a scene this large. So I have to do that to all my lights. And then my volume, same thing in a scene that usually like 0.1 works. And a scene 10 times this, that's 10 times the size, and so I have to use 0.001 in order to get just a little bit of volume. Like 0.01 is like very strong. So I usually go 0.001 or 0.004 or something, and then use this slider here to adjust the amount of where the light is, where the strength of the volume lies in terms of the light. So yeah, no problem. It's there's a lot of values that need changed, unfortunately, when you're using Mechabricks parts, but it's worth it because all the scalings will be correct, and that's what matters. Otherwise, your materials will be broken. So I gotta plug my computer in. I'm running this off of a laptop right now, and it's telling me like you're gonna die. So I better change that. Get my thing set. One moment. Power cable. Yeah, that would be unfortunate if my laptop just died midstream. I don't even know what would happen. I guess it would save it. I think. I don't know. That would have been, whew, that would have been bad. All right, now we're charging. We're ready. We can keep going. All right, the hallway of doom. Let's get this thing going. So this is the hallway, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not even going to spend much time on this. I'm not even going to see it much. So I'm just going to duplicate the whole way out here. Just like that. Not hard at all. And actually, because the sun is working, Calvin, what's up, dude? Can't believe it. You joined this stream. This goat just dropping in to this lonely little guy with a couple thousand subs. Appreciate it. All right, I gotta rotate this. This is I'm just playing around here. Nothing much. I want to take a break from doing actual animations after my last project. That took it out of me. And so for now I'm just playing around a little bit, doing some what do you call it? Just maintenance on my materials and stuff like that. So just chilling. Yeah, yeah, I agree. 15 subs is 15K subs is legit. I mean, I think I actually looked it up. Like the what was it? It was some rating of like where you stand with other channels, and I'm somewhere like 30,000 something, 50,000 out of all the YouTube channels. Which I mean, hey, that's that's a lot. I appreciate that, so I'll do that. That's it's legit. All right, let's see what this looks like with everything added. Okay, that looks good. I don't like the lighting in this hallway yet, though. Let's rotate this a bit. I want to get like some contrast with the sun, if possible. Ooh, wow. Do you apply custom mats to all bricks or just manipulating parts in some bricks? Okay, that is a good question. So all my bricks have like a certain amount of customness to them. I have unevenness, let's see, unevenness, edge chipping, like dirt, grime, little pieces of little scratches and dents and stuff like that. And that applies to them all, minifig parts and bricks. And then for minifig parts, I have additional settings I can add, like rotational scarring, where the arm piece rubs against the torso, um, little pieces on the arm where arms are rubbing against the torso, this head bump, uh, this specific bump map that's what the Lego Movie uses on their parts. Just like little things, and like for most cases, you don't even see that, but when the character gets close enough, it looks pretty good. So yeah, that's when I'd only add those really specific case mats. But in general, it's just run and go. Like all my stuff is set. I'll just show you guys. I mean, I'm not trying to hide it or anything, so I might as well just show you. Um, most of what I've told you this before, Calvin, but most of what I use is on uh, Blender Brick's sister server, No Jungle, and so it's just a lot of node setups I've integrated. All right, let's see here. So I can show you. So I use Mecha Bricks Advanced for this. It's like most of this right here is just basic Mecha Bricks Advanced with a few changes. Like for example, I have a custom subsurface radius going in, this dust overlay. Let's see, I have some color stuff here like edge to gray, which makes the edges slightly brighter, some scratches, and then this is where the majority of it happens, which is fingerprints and dirt, custom fingerprints and dirt, then custom normals, like noise, leg streaks, small scratches, unevenness, and then I only have this is my only like Mecha Mat upgrader, I guess, ripoff here. I tore this from the add-on, which is just arm streaks and leg roughness, and then everything else is custom with the vertical smearing and then head bump and edge chipping. So that's really it. I don't add too much. I like to stay pretty lean in terms of mat design. I know Lego Crow, he really wants to, he's like all out. Like he made custom bump maps for like 5 different pieces. I'm like, that's too much for me. I don't need that. I just need just a little bit of stylization and realism, balance that out. So I'm rambling, but yeah, back to this. That was way, I like the contrast here. That's way too much. Let's see. Okay, just a little bit. That looks good. I mean, it's gonna be blurred out anyway. So, all right, let's add some depth of field. Now, I'm probably gonna add depth of field back in Nuke. but do it here anyway. Do you have a script that does it automatically or is it manual? I mean, so the Mecha Bricks Advanced add-on, it has a nodes file, which basically has all of these nodes, like a customized node, an MD custom normals node, color node, stuff like that, and they're all automatically in that file. And so when you import stuff, those get transferred automatically into the file, into your Blender file. But what you can do is you can go into the nodes file and add in your custom nodes. So like I have like in this color file, I have all these alpha to grade nodes just added within the color node, so that way I can append those into certain use cases when I need them. So yeah, most of it is automatic. Only manual stuff is minifigure stuff, and I have to do that one at a time. Render time difference between your custom mats and Mecha Bricks Advanced. It is definitely more. It's a longer render time for sure. I think a lot of that comes from the unevenness. It's just a lot more light path calculations because Mecha Bricks Advanced doesn't really have that. But it's not substantial. Like I say, Mecha Mat Upgrader, that's that's wild. That's easily 5 times the amount of render time than Mecha Bricks Advanced would have. Mine, I would say, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 2 times, maybe tops. It doesn't add a whole lot, but it is enough to be like, all right, do I want to render this out with cheap materials or like good looking materials? And I tend to just be like, you know what, let's do the good looking materials because it's not a whole lot. That's a good question though. I'd say it's definitely worth it. Even if it's like 3 times or 4 times, I'd be using my mats any day because they're way better than what Mecha Bricks Advance has. All right, let's add some depth of field. It's fun. Oh yeah, no problem. Lego Crow, we were just talking about you. I was just saying how MMU is super heavy and why I never use it, and I told Calvin that mine's better, kinda. To each his own. Your stuff is awesome. You have a 4090 though, or whatever, so it makes sense. I can't do that. It's too much for me. Also, chat, I honestly, oh, thank you. It's super easy. It's as Zachary told me, it's just VideoTube Mini, and it's literally just 4 images of 4 renders I made, just animated. Yeah, it's super easy. It's free too. Yeah, Civil War. No, Crow and I like each other. We're best buds. We help each other out. Crow helps me more than I help him, though. Also, Blender's internal depth of field is actually really good. Like, I mean, Nuke's awesome, but like my entire project I just did, that was all Blender's internal depth of field, and it looks awesome. Like, not gonna lie, there's a lot of customization. I wish you could have custom kernels though. That's the only downside. And now the good news is that if I want to be doing my depth of field inside here, I can just go with a panoramic lens. And that way, I can get that nice anamorphic distortion. That looks a little squished right here. Let's go like 37, just a little more. Yeah. I mean, I do. Nuke is pretty great with the depth of field, the PXF CD focus or whatever, especially since you have the flexibility of changing it after you've rendered. But just rendering internally in Blender is a lot easier. And also, if you're working with volumes, it's just super simple because it renders the depth of field with volumes because I know there's this whole workaround with EV that you have to do and like render a depth pass or whatever EV to how you can put that into Nuke and not get the artifacts from trying to depth of field Nuke with the volume. It's a whole thing. I never got into that. That's why I'm just going to do the depth of field here. All right, this looks actually really good. I like the way this looks. I'm just going to add some finishing touches here. Oh yeah, edges look perfect as well. Yeah, there's that weird eroding that happens when you Yeah, yeah. It's I agree. It's easier. What project is this? What future projects do you have planned? Good question. This current one, I'm just playing around just for fun. As I mentioned, my last project was a lot, so I'm just kind of relaxing for like maybe a few days before I jump into them. But yeah, next projects I have, that's a good question. So I want to do a Q&A video, like a dedicated Q&A video. That's kind of on the back burner for now. At the moment, I have two like pretty much fully planned out projects, like YouTube Shorts, like no more than 20, 30 seconds tops. I have a script developed for both of those. And then I have ideas for three or four. So yeah, I definitely got ideas. I got stuff planned. Probably going to hit the two YouTube Shorts first, and then like long-term video ideas. A lot of people have been like wanting a sequel to the my final project for college. That one video, Bunker 142B, 34B, whatever it was called. We're like, we need a sequel to this, and like that's right there is a commitment. I might get back into that. Um, but yeah, at the moment, I don't have any like huge projects planned, so mostly short form content for now. But yeah, I feel confident that I can get this out pretty quickly. I think the Q&A video will be long, definitely be long form. That'll be a YouTube video. That'll be I don't know, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I gotta animate that fully, which is gonna be bad unless I want to use this little icon I have right here, this little VTuber thing, which is actually pretty nice. But it doesn't have much customization, so I probably would wait until I can find something with more customization, multiple poses and stuff like that, similar to like I don't know, Saber Spark or other creators that do a similar thing on YouTube. But all right, I want to move these pieces, jitter them. That's my favorite. That's my favorite little thing at the end is jittering these pieces. Just a 15, 18%, just a little bit. Looks really good. Oh yeah. In the background, you can see like little micro shadows of uneven pieces. It looks really good. All right, now I gotta add my, speaking of custom mats, I add my mats to my figure. So you can see my process here. Let's see, turn off this, turn off bones. All right, let's do head streaks first. Actually, I don't do head streaks. I only do this like little head bump. That's all I do. I usually keep the head pretty clean. And then torso. Is it torso? Yeah. I do bump for this, more vertical streaks. Let's do 0.08 and oh wait, wrong bump. This is the head bump. This is the 101. This is like a movie noise and arm streaks. Please don't break. All right. Occasionally SVM will die and it'll turn black, and that's just a nightmare. So glad I don't do that. Let's see. I'll add some UV wiggle, as I call it, which just wiggles the edges to make it look like it's a print. And yeah, I'll add some print grade. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Anything else I want to add? I think so. Oh, I think I should probably add a little bit of color variation here. Just a little bit on the walls, you know. Oh, yeah, that broke it. Yep, it broke. Okay. All right, I can't do that then. I mean, wait, actually I can. Gotta do the workaround, which is plug this in, and just on the torso, remove this. That way, on everything else, I can use color variation. What? Oh my gosh. You know what? Screw it. I'm not gonna do that. That's ugh. Okay. This looks good, I think. Yep. All right, now for the final touch is my dust. This, I love my dust to death, but it slows down the scene like a ton. So it's the very last thing I do. Add it sparingly. I think I'm gonna add it. Let's see. Turn up all these. Turn up my bounce. Turn up my sig for now. Let's just do the scene. Okay, so definitely on these tabletops where it's being reflected in the light, because you'll see it then. Like that. Okay. I don't know if I'd add anywhere else. Oh, right here. Don't need this. All right, so I don't know these. There we go. And for those wondering, this Lego hair I'm using, I actually sent this on No Jungle or Blender Bricks. It's on either one. I think it's No Jungle. And there is a YouTube tutorial for it if you want to do it. It's pretty simple. Um, yeah, simple. Uh, it's basically just literally scattering a collection of dust pieces and hair pieces on the geometry, and then I'm just masking it out based on like making sure it's only appearing on the top parts of the piece instead of like the entire piece. And then these float curves here determine how much of the scattered parts are going to be what size they're going to be, because these are plugged into scale. So those are like the only things I added. There's a tutorial though on YouTube for this, and that's on Blender Bricks, I think. All right, that looks good. Added my sig. There we go. And select my rig, children, copy modifiers. And gotta add back my blockers. Oh yeah, that looks good. You can't see the dust too much. I mean, it's just a viewport render, but especially like on this side right here and over here, you'll be able to see it. I think that's gonna be fine. Cool. Well, because I'm running depth of field here, don't need the Z pass. I don't really do anything else in Nuke anyway, except for glares. So I'll render this out. And I think I'll just set this to 5. Oh yeah, lens distortion. This is the best method I found of doing lens distortion is doing the panoramic lens within Blender. And if you do depth of field, it will map the depth of field to the panoramic. Oh hey, Plastic Jack, how's it going? It will map the depth of field, so you'll get like the anamorphic distortion or cat's eye defocus, as it's called in real life. The downside though is that if you're going to do the depth of field in Nuke, then you won't get that same effect. But yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite Blender features I found is doing it within Blender. Blender's powerful, guys. Don't just write it off and be like, oh, I'm only going to do my camera effects in Nuke. Like Blender has a lot you can do. The compositor is actually pretty good too, especially after the newest update on 4.4. It updated a lot of the nodes and it's a lot faster now. All right, now for the sake of time, I want to render this out of 5 minutes. It's going to be noisy as heck, but I don't care because we're going to take it into Nuke and we'll add some stuff. I do use chromatic aberration. So once this finishes rendering, I'm going to take this into Nuke and I can show you guys the chromatic aberration stuff I'd use. It's literally just one node. It's called like chromatic or something. And yeah, that's what I use for aberration. Depth of field is like the only thing I do within Blender. Everything else I do in Nuke. And then color correction is all done in Lightroom or Premiere Pro, depending on if it's a video or a still. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like how it's looking. All right, I'm actually see. Is this thing rendering out? Yeah, it's going. I'm gonna change my viewport thing here 1 second. There we go. watch this together. Super exciting. I generally just do time limits for most of my renders, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever. Occasionally I'll do like use actual tiles, but I render in 4K, so unless it's like a volumetric scene or caustics, I have to render most of the time. It'll look pretty good at 20, 30 minutes for like a still image. And if I'm doing animations, I don't do that here. I do that on the sheet bit. Oh yeah, pixels being calculated is fun to watch. On the GPU, not so much because in the GPU, at least on mine, it renders out like every few like 5 to 10 seconds, and so like update the image with I don't know 10 new samples or one new sample. Uh, on the CPU, or if you use like a really small tile size, you can actually see like it run through really quickly, like all 500 samples, and that's really fun to watch. Just time consuming, you know. It's also kind of weird seeing myself in the frame and also as a little VTuber. All right, halfway done. My stream's probably acting out right now. My GPU's hating me. But I like GPU. I'm glad Blender has a GPU for on the Mac. I have a M3 Pro and it's running fine on it. And I'm surprised because like most 3D rendering softwares right now do not support Blender. I mean, most 3D rendering softwares do not support on the Mac, the new Macs that came out, except for like the M1, M2. M3 is pretty new. Oh, good. I guess it's just me then. I'm watching the preview through OBS, the streamer software, and it's like cutting out a bunch, so I was getting a little worried. All right, 2 minutes remaining. Let's go. In the meantime, I might as well open Nuke. Just show you guys that. Get Nuke opening. All right, change this to Nuke. There we go. Alrighty. I think it was on my process video. I ran through this before, but my notes app's very simple. I just have PXF ZD focus for my depth of field. That's free. Actually, everything here is free. This is the node for chromatic aberration. That's chromatic. That's on No Jungle. It's also on Nukepedia. Look that up as well. This thing's goated. Best chromatic aberration I've ever seen. Virtual lens. This is kind of interesting. So this is trying to replicate the effects of light on a lens, like a real lens, and it's very, very subtle, but it looks amazing. And I only used it like, gosh, 4 times in the last year. My latest backrooms render I posted that was using this because it does look, you can make it look like an old camera, which is pretty cool. Oh, a lot of nodes. Gosh, you see Lego Crow's stuff. He posted his setup for his latest video, and it's like this massive spaghetti, and not spaghetti. It actually looks very organized, but it's just incredibly overwhelming. And then I have this flare, TLBM flare, which is primary flares, and that's you can find that on Blender Bricks as well. Same with vertical fading. And vertical fading is just to mimic the lens distortion, not the lens distortion, it's lens blurring of an anamorphic lens. All right, my render is actually finished, and to be honest, it does not look that bad, so I'm happy about that. Save this as test one. Yes, Fellowship of Brick Animation. It should definitely be public after I close the stream, so do not worry. If it's not, I'll make it public. I'll make sure. Because I hope to do more of these, to be honest. Because I I do this during my free time anyway, and so I'm like, might as well just do it and live stream it because I'm gonna help other people learn, you know. All right, let's drag. Whoa, drag in my EXR. What a brilliant name, Test One EXR. Ah, it's glorious. All right, scale this up. All right, doesn't look that bad. Now the downside is I'm also in Blender I'm using AGX color space, which is more realistic in terms of how color saturation appears under stronger lights. And so, see you, Matthew. Thanks for being on the stream. Uh, and so as a result of using that color space, I have a really high contrast image as a result, and some of the color is a bit saturated. I fixed that in my photo editing software or video editing software. It's just in Nuke, it looks a little strange. All right, chromatic. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Change the aspect ratio. Don't need a ton, just a little bit around these edges. That looks good. Now, one thing I do like from Virtual Lens. Oh crap! There goes my Nuke. Uh, Sometimes Nuke just crashes on me. I think it's Nuke is one of those things I mentioned before. It doesn't really support Mac, and so it just crashes randomly. Um, Let me get it back up and running. 1 minute. Yeah, Nuke. Love-hate relationship with that on Mac. Nuke X. All right. Let's see. What the heck? Sorry guys, my stream is buggy on my end. All right, where was I? have Virtual Lens. I'm actually going to use this here because I think just a little bit of the sphere collaboration. As you can see, you can barely tell it's there, but if I'm zooming up a lot, it's a little bit on it. It's just kind of softening those edges a little bit. Okay, good. Just a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Now to flares, my favorite part. This thing's so easy to use. I love it. Turn on my threshold. All right, let's see here. A little bit higher up. There we go. Okay, yeah, I can run through it a little bit. So let me turn this off. Focal length, you want to match that to the focal length in your scene. Only thing that affects, to my knowledge, is this ring, the scale of the ring. Um, Operation, don't worry about it. Threshold right here. Okay. Um, like, do you want me to run through each of these? I can run through each. Uh, yeah, glow, it's pretty nice. It's a little strong, so I want to turn this down a little bit. Let's see. I'm actually going to put this on most of the scene here. Just a little bit. There we go. The blue tint to that. I mean, it's not too confusing to learn. Most of the settings you don't really have to mess with. Like it's just gain and mix on each of these. Mix is like fine tuning how much of the flare appears in the screen. Gain is the strength of the flare, you know, and then threshold is just kind of filtering out parts of the image so that doesn't appear on everything. Otherwise, if it was just zero, then you would have glares appearing everywhere and even in the shadows. So glow is like just, I don't know, glow. I don't know, there's a better name for it. Bloom. Glint is like the little shiny parts of an image that reflect. You don't really need much on here. Multiply on these. This is how you can change the color um, of the flares. Like I can have like these blue or green flares if I want. I generally keep this on white for most things. I think it's honestly my scenes because it doesn't probably working good on my things. Yeah, you do need to have some sort of bright part of your scene. If it's not bright enough, you can up the gain or multiply up here and see if that helps. But yeah, your image does need to be a bit bright, but it should work with most things. You can try upping the glow or and upping the gain and mix on certain things here. Um, yeah, I wouldn't know why it wouldn't be working. Like you don't need any specific passes. You just need color going into the node. Horizontal, I don't really use unless I'm JJ Abrams and I'm not JJ Abrams. Same with horizontal mirror or mirror. These ones here, I don't really use them that often. I usually only use them if there's a light source in the scene. That's when it makes sense. Otherwise, you're just kind of parts, like little random flares that don't make much sense. So there's some people that just do those and just add like a bunch of flares like this. Or like, look at this amazing scene I made. And I'm like, it's not motivated. Like, just that doesn't make any sense for that to be that many flares. And so I keep all those down, except for a few, like glint, glow, and maybe a little bit of ring. Let's see what this looks like. Mm, yeah, I don't think it makes sense. Ring usually is when there's also like a strong light source in a corner or something. Okay, this looks pretty good. And I think I might add a little bit of vertical fading, just a tad. Top and bottoms of my screen. Expand the mask a little bit. Okay, there we go. See how this looks. All right, yay. And I'm gonna say for a 5-minute rendered image with volumetrics, it's not half bad. Lego Club, what's up? Thanks for joining, man. Now, little hack I have is because I'm working on like a 4K or a 5K screen, I just take a screenshot of this and then I edit that as a photo. I don't need to export it out or anything, and then that way you don't have to use the 1080p write node limit in Nuke non-commercial. Do you just copy your setup every time or something different? Okay, I actually have like I call it template.nuke or something. It's a template file that has all the nodes set up and with just a base EXR image set. And so I just copy and paste that when I need to use it again for each of my projects, and then I don't have to worry about importing all the nodes again. If you really wanted, you could just make a new file and then drag in the template file, and then it will appear as a node graph. But I just copy and paste the file myself. And Citrina's tutorial on how to set up a Nuke file for Blender renders. So yeah, and I think there actually might be some template like Nuke files on Blender Brick server. So you could check that as well and maybe download one of those and see if it works. Um, I don't know. It's worth a shot. Yeah, I mean, it's if I don't have to export it out, might as well just take a screenshot. I mean, it's already going to be 4K. I don't have to worry about getting all this in the shot as well. All right, I'm gonna open up Lightroom, which is my photo editing software. I'll get this going. You'd be surprised how much of my images are actually done in Lightroom. Like, there's a lot of color and stuff that's done within Lightroom. All right, open this. Get my stream set to Lightroom. Where are you? A little slow at this, my first time streaming. application capture, Lightroom. Huh, it's not appearing. Give me 1 sec, chat. Window capture. Huh. I don't know what's happening. Windows with empty names. Adobe Lightroom. What? I don't know why it's not working. Give me a second. I'm confused though. If you like take a screenshot as the compress the quality, to my knowledge, no. It depends on the size of your pixels. Like on Mac, I don't know how it works on Windows, but I know on Mac, the scaling of like the desktop and how big the screen is, like you can actually fit. There's a lot more pixels there than it seems. So like if you have there's like a 19 by 20, 19 by 1080 or something, and there's actually like enough pixels to be 38 by 40, 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. It's just zooming in, and so it looks lower res than it is. And so I just have it my max set on a very big pixel size, which is like 33,000 by 2000 or something like that. So when I screenshot, it's screenshotting all those pixels, not just like what Nuke is previewing. So it doesn't really get compressed. I don't know why Lightroom is not working. Maybe I can full screen it or something. I'm gonna get better at this, I promise. Where are you? This is hilarious. Why can't I get this working? Application capture, Adobe Lightroom, and it just doesn't want to. Huh. I don't. Huh. This is just great. I wonder if oh, I wonder. I wonder if like Adobe Lightroom or Adobe products don't allow their products to be like screen recorded. That doesn't make any sense, but Adobe Lightroom OBS. I'm looking up on Google. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. OBS stream size. Yeah, I stream on OBS Studio, whatever it's called. It's my first time using it though, so I'm a noob at this whole thing. Oh, it might be it's because it's hardware. Yeah, I mean it should be like a simple thing. Hardware accelerated. I want to show you guys what I'm doing. How could I make this work? Window capture. Yeah, the strange thing is it's not appearing in there. Let me switch to my base scene real quick. And I'm gonna quit out of this specific window. Let me check my settings real quick. Yeah, it's coming. I'm like sharing a window. Um, it says window capture. Oh no, wait, Lightroom. That's not Lightroom. No. Show windows with empty names. That's oh, I don't know. That's strange. I suppose I could just share my screen. Oh, oh, wait, what? Is it working? Is it working? Yes, I think it's working. Okay, I guess it's working now. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see me editing this image? I hope you guys can. All right, anyway, back to this. exposure is actually pretty good. I think I might take this down. Okay, thank you, Brickinator. I appreciate it. Sorry, so I want to decrease the contrast just a little bit, crank up my highlights, crank down the shadows, just adding a bit more contrast onto this. There we go. You can see a little bit of contrast. It looks good. And I don't usually mess with color temperature all that often. Let me hide my little VTube streamer. There we go. I don't usually mess with color temperature because I like keeping it the same when it came out of Blender, unless it's like a really off scene. This is what I was going for here, so I don't mind. I usually crank up vibrance just a little bit. Oranges are coming in a bit hot. Saturation down on those, but take it up on greens, make them a bit bluer. So, same with the blues. There we go. Color grading. I'm a big fan of cold shadows, so ooh, a little bit of green and blue. That looks good. And then midtones. See any highlights? No, definitely midtones. A little warmer. This dual tone looks really good. Helps separate the shadows. More blue. A little less right there. Okay. Add a little bit of vignette or vignette. I always call it vignette. I'm old school, or not schooled at all apparently. And some grain. Sure. I'm not gonna go overboard on that. Okay. Now time for masking stuff out. So this right here is pretty darn bright. So I'm gonna take these highlights down a little bit. Add some contrast. And I'm gonna create a mood. So light is coming in through here. Up the exposure, contrast a little bit. And this is going to be tinged warmer. Now I am going to subtract a little bit out of this here. Oops, I think was I adding to it? Oh, I said subtract. Oh, this is subtract. Let me just delete brush 2. There we go. All right. Mask 3. Delete this mask. Do this again. Oh, no wonder. I was adding a new mask. That's why it wasn't working. Okay, now I subtract. Brush. There we go. So now I'm only doing it on this light ray. Another linear gradient here. I stretch this out pretty far, but then I subtract out the middle, just like so. Okay, sweet. Oh yeah, Lightroom is goated. I have like the full creator package, which is like all the Adobe applications because I'm a student. So take advantage of that if you are a student. If you're not, there's probably some other discounts you can do, but Lightroom is amazing. It's actually really easy to use and it's super powerful. Turn on the highlight slightly. All right, I'll make this whole thing a bit cooler. There we go. All right, now I'm going to be adding radial around here. Invert this, turn down exposure down. Okay, so just let me run through what I did here. Oh, version, gosh, where do I see that? About Lightroom. 8.2. I'm on the newest version most of the time. Okay, so let me run through what I just did here. Go over here. Before, after. Yeah, still running Thomas for videos. I mean, videos, Premiere Pro, I use that, and you can actually mask out Lumetri color effects, which is like their version of these color effects. And so you can create custom masks just like this. It's just not as easy to do. And you can mask out parts of the video. But yeah, I mean, I can't just like, I would have to, if this was a scene, I would have to mask this little circle out through the scene, which would be annoying for sure. But yeah, let me show you what you guys did. So I like to go dual tone with a lot of my renders where I have a certain light source coming in somewhere, and then I have another light, and then I have like a shadow somewhere else. I like to color the light source in the shadow, so that way you have like, I don't know, multiple colors across the frame. So like this first one here is just to fix. That's to fix the bright highlights on that corner. Then I have this over here, which is to accent the light coming in, make this a bit warmer. Then the reverse over here, which is cooling this corner down. And then finally, to draw your attention to the character, I did the circular mask, which turns down the exposure of everything else around it and just kind of pulls your eye towards the character. And other than that, I usually don't do too much. I like to keep scenes pretty pure, generally speaking. Oh yeah, that looks good. Anything else I would add? Mm, maybe it's a bit on the cooler side, bit purple, just a little bit, not a lot. Oh yeah, that's a good difference. You can see just how much more depth this image has after using some masks. See little bits of dust in here and stuff. And I try to get as close as I can within Blender with the lighting I want. Then do the same thing in Nuke. Like, don't be like, oh yeah, I'll fix this in Nuke or I'll fix this in Lightroom or Blender. Like, get as good as you can in each application you use, so that by the end you have a really good looking final image instead of being like, well, there was this one lighting thing I could have fixed in Blender, I didn't. Try to fix it all if you can at the same time. Well, cool. I think I'll be exporting this image out. Probably you're gonna use it as the thumbnail for my stream. That way you guys can watch the stream again, know what I'm doing. But yeah, so I think that's about it. I'm so glad you guys got to see some more of my process. I hope to do this again sometime, even though like not a lot. I'm not gonna grow my channel by doing live streams. I'm not like a Twitch streamer or anything, but still think it's fun. I know a lot of you guys are like, I want to see your process and what you guys do as you do it, and so I hope I answered you guys' questions. Any last minute things for me before I close this stream? If you were to do realistic scenes, 3D characters of real people, how would you light scenes the same way you do with Lego? That's a good question. Lego's interesting, especially when it comes to character lighting, because like Lego faces don't have any definition on them. They're just circular, and so you can't contour. You don't have because they don't have contours. You have to light them in a certain way that you don't get like a massive highlight on the side of it. So like if I was lighting a real person, that's actually a lot easier because the face can block out highlights and um, stuff like that, which is so it's definitely easier. But the principles remain the same, like adding a key light here, a rim light here, like it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, I would light them around the same way. Sue, your audio for the news and the college final thing. Oh, can you use it? Yeah, I mean, it's not really mine. It was all the news stuff was AI. Um, and so that was AI made that. I mean, I didn't write it. I wrote it and I plugged into an AI text to speech and it generated that thing out. So yeah, feel free to use that. I don't need like attribution or anything. I mean, you might get copyright claimed by my channel. Like I'm not, I don't know if that's automatic or anything, but yeah, I mean, go for it. I don't own that, so do it. Uh, because I'm a 3D artist who do realistic renders and animations. Oh yeah, yeah, I would like them the same way. There's is actually a really excellent source out there. Let me pull it up. Um, cinematography. Let's see, what was it called? Gosh, I am blanking on the name here. It wasn't keeping it real. CG cinematography. Ah, wait, is this it? Ah, yes. All right, let me share this screen real quick. Um, get into OBS. One share. This 1 second. What's up, AK? Application. Or Safari. All right, this thing right here, CG cinematography. This is amazing. This is a digital ebook for free written by this guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name, Chris Bijan or something. He did a bunch of lighting and CG work for, I mean, dozens of big name films. This is unbelievable. Super in depth about so much stuff, especially sections 5 through 8. I mean, literally jumping right in, talking about how to light different things and like counter shading, all that. I mean, I get I get lost in this, and he goes into talking about like the behind the scenes of these and how lighting works and flows and stuff like that. So check this resource out. It's online. It's free. It's amazing. I use it all the time as reference. So yeah, definitely check this out. Super helpful for not just Lego stuff, but animations and also like actually like real world lighting as well. Like he goes into that as well. Um, let's see here. Reading the chat. One thing I hope to make tutorials in the future. Yeah, I hope to make more tutorials as well. I try to cover a lot of general stuff in my what was it? My process and stuff like that. I probably will release smaller videos about more like succinct topics like animation of faces or stuff like that. I'm also still learning, so I kind of want to get to a point where I'm not uh, learning, like I'm not saying stuff and then I realize, oh man, I should have not said that because that was completely wrong or something like that. So yeah, I'll be hopefully releasing more tutorials in the future. Great video cut cinematic lighting. Yes, I have heard of that. Cinematic lighting. I think that was, it was that one guy. Yeah, Gleb Alexanderov. This one, I don't know if that's the one you use. Uh, that course and there's also the video with it is awesome. That has also helped a lot. I personally like reading stuff versus actually doing like a video on it, but that's just me. Do you have a Discord server? Personally, I do not. There is the Blender Bricks Discord server, which is, I mean, that's open invite. I don't know where the invite is. I think it's on, is it? I think they have a YouTube channel, and I think they have the server invite there, and so you can check that out. That's awesome. I'm on there all the time. And then there's a sister server for that, which is No Jungle, and that's just materials design and stuff like that. There's an invite there for that, but I do not have a personal server. I'm just like, I don't know why I would make a personal Discord if I'm already super active and sharing my stuff on Blender Bricks. So I'd check that out for sure. Alrighty. Well, any other questions for me before I close the stream down? I appreciate you guys all coming and checking this out. I know it's sort of last minute, but I figured, you know what, might as well do a stream. Yeah, Brickmaker, Blender Bricks, that's the one. I think I'm gonna double check on their channel, Blender Bricks, YouTube. I'm pretty sure they have Discord on there. Let's see. Yeah, if you go here, they do have a Discord on like their landing page, and so that should just take you. Yeah, and you can go and join Blender Bricks. Advanced lighting tutorial. That's a great idea. I'm gonna write that down. Advanced lighting tutorial is a great idea because lighting is definitely one thing I feel pretty confident about. That was what I started with, just still images and how to get the best stuff in still images. So yeah, definitely be sending that out. Oh yeah, the commission looks really good. Surprisingly, a lot of it, I'd say half of it, is just a single HDRI, and then the rest of it is area lights. And I don't think there was any scene which was like area lights and an HDRI. Most of it was either or. So I could maybe even dive into that. I have all the blend files for that, so I could maybe on my next stream I could explain the my creative decisions behind each of the lighting techniques I use in that. That's a good idea. All right, cool. Well, this has been fun chat. I will see you guys around my next stream where I'm Blender Bricks. Try to get some more videos out there. Resting right now from that last one, but I'll get you some more stuff. So yeah, take care. See y'all later. And close the stream down.